What's going on, guys? It's your boy Worthy Prince, or Mike as you may also know me as. And if you're new to the channel, just popping in today to see this video, welcome and thanks for stopping by. The reason I'm making this video is really just to kind of talk about what's happened to me over the last 11 months and what I've done more specifically in the last 30 days that has seriously changed my life, and like for the absolute better, of course, and I can only see it getting more positive going forward. Before I get into this today, I want to let you know that I saw a lot of the advice that I've taken on board myself, doing my own research, watching various different videos online that I will be mentioning a little bit later. Remember, this is my journey, and what worked for my journey doesn't mean it's going to work for your journey. Do your own research, do your own due diligence, and most importantly, I think, listen to your body and what your body's telling you is working and what isn't. Okay? I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a dietitian. I'm just average Joe that basically decided to go ahead and try something, not even believing in what I was about to try was going to actually work, because it was absolute lunacy, and then seeing the results. And that's literally what I want to talk to you about today. But before we get to the exciting stuff about what's recently changed, let me just take you back to a little bit more like the beginning of this journey. So I lived my life starting off in a fairly healthy way. I never really had too many issues with weight growing up, until I got into like my mid-20s. That's when I hit some problems. That's when I started putting on weight more than I ever had done. Before that, I was always fairly fit and healthy and slim. But then after I hit 25, I started gaining weight. You know, I was contentment had set in. You know, I was married, I had kids, everything was good, life was good. I used to go to work, come home, the usual 9 to 5. And I would do bad habits like eat takeaways, drink energy drinks, you know, soda and all the rest of it. You know, I wouldn't even think about what I was eating, because life, as far as I was concerned, was a-okay. There we go, we're sorted. But things can change. Things did change. And so therefore I found that I had none of that bubble, that, you know, that lifestyle I had set up there. Literally everything, all of that had gone. I'm not going to get into the reasons why. You don't want to hear about that. Needless to say, it was a very stressful time in my life. Partly, it probably was down to the fact that I'd gained weight, and then my moods had changed, and just my energy levels had changed. What made me wasn't really there anymore. That doesn't mean that, you know, that was all that was the problem. It really wasn't. But the point is, everything changed. I lost everything. And it took me into what I would call like just horrendous depression. Horrendous depression. Extreme anxiety. Again, I'm very comfortable talking about it now because I don't feel that way. But back then, things were really bad, you know? It was really bad. I used to literally not want to go outside. I moved into my apartment about 4 years ago. Finally got myself my independence in that respect. After losing my home and everything, right? But I didn't want to go outside. I didn't want to walk out the door. You know, I was scared to walk outside. I used to keep the blinds closed all day long. I wouldn't want to interact with anyone. I didn't speak to family, friends, not just for days or weeks, months, but years. And during this time, I ordered food in. Because obviously, if you're not going out, if you're scared to go out, how do you eat? Well, it's all takeaway food. Delivery services that drop takeaway to your door. So every day it was things like fry-ups. In the evenings, it was burgers, you know, burgers and chips and curries and Chinese takeaways and all of the stuff which is really not that good for you at all. Highly processed, nasty food that's gonna, if you're living a sedentary lifestyle, which I wasn't really moving around much, and eating loads of that every day, plus drinking like 4 liters of soda. Oh yeah, 4 liters of soda every day. I mean, there's only one way that's gonna go, right? And at the time, you don't think of that. You don't think, oh, you know, I'll dive into this 16-inch stuffed crust pizza with chicken and, you know, garlic bread, and oh, I'll wash that down with a big tub of Ben and Jerry's ice cream. And you eat all that, and you feel fantastic while you're doing it. And then obviously you feel like terrible the next day, next week. But you know what? The next day you do it all over again. Crazy, right? So what happened doing that, especially last year, was terrible from last year. You get really badly overweight. And that's exactly what happened to me. At the end of December, I hit the highest weight I'd ever hit in my entire life. My waistline went up to like over 50 inches. My weight was around 400 pounds at the end of last year. Crazy weight, crazy measurements. And so I got to a point at the end of December, beginning of January, where I said to myself, okay, you need to make some changes. You need to make some changes now. It needs to be serious and you need to do it. Otherwise, you're going to end up dead. It's quite simple. You're going to be in a box if you don't fix these problems like right now. So I got the motivation. Sometimes you really do have to hit rock bottom. Like sometimes you think you hit rock bottom, but there's still like 4 or 5 levels to go. And you don't even realize it because you think, how could life get any worse than what it is right now? Oh, trust me, there's levels below that. And you have to kind of go right down into those depths before sometimes you can actually find that motivation that's going to enable you to make a change. And that's kind of where I was at the beginning of this year. Literally, at the end of December, hope had gone. I could barely walk. I was in so much pain. The inflammation in my lower back was beyond anything I could ever describe. My legs would literally shut down. I would walk about 100 yards and I'd have to stop. I'd have to stop and sometimes even sit on the floor because it hurt. It hurt to get up and go to the toilet and walk back and sit down. I was out of breath and in pain. Like, it was bad. And you would never notice it, me sitting there chatting on these live streams and talking on these videos. But trust me, it was horrendous. Like I felt like I was literally on the route to death. That's where I'm going. That's it now. There's no way back. I live with this pain of walking for 1.5 years. There's no way I'm ever going to be able to feel the pleasure of going for a nice long walk pain-free. Those days are gone. And I ain't even 40. I'm 38. 38. I'm feeling like you're on the way to die within so much pain. Anyway, I'm not gonna cry. No. I'm gonna keep it together. All I'm saying is it was rough. Life was rough. So look, that's all I really want to go into as far as that. It gives you a good picture of where I was at mentally, physically. I remember how bad it was. It's why it upsets me talking about it, because I remember how painful and how in the mind and the body it was back then. All right. So we get to January 2023 and changes need to be made. So what did I do? Did I go looking for a special plan? Did I go looking for a diet? Did I go looking for a nutritionist? Did I join a gym? No, I didn't do any of those things. What I did was I started just cutting everything out, and I had some support initially from my mum. If it wasn't for my mum and my stepdad Keith, who were there for me at the beginning of this year, I don't know where I'd be right now, or how bad it would be, or if I'd have stuck to it. I weren't in a position, as I've already told you, I was not in a position to walk to the grocery store and walk back with bags. I couldn't do that. There was no way. So at first I started ordering. I found a place I could order. I started ordering groceries. This was the first step. I started also ordering groceries instead of ordering takeaway. And I was saving a lot of money doing this as well, because obviously takeaways are expensive, right? That's where all my money went, was on takeaways. But like, I was able to get groceries and I still had money left at the end of the week because I was getting groceries. And so I would order groceries online and they would turn up, and I'd actually put stuff for food, actual food in the fridge. Was it all really healthy food? No, some of it was still processed. But I mean, in comparison to eating takeaways, it was definitely better than what I was eating. I was eating vegetables, I was eating fruit, I was eating cereals and milk and other processed TV dinners and stuff like that, but it was still food I was cooking at home. It wasn't takeaway food. Therefore, it was still good. And I also cut the soda. Big one there. I think drinking 4 liters of Pepsi every day. I completely cut the soda out and started drinking fruit juices, you know, cordials, squashes, which you mix with water. No, so this is how I went, and that's how it started with me ordering groceries. But then on a Friday when I used to go shopping, my mum would come and pick me up in the car. Mum and stepdad would pick me up in the car and drive me to the grocery store, where I would literally have the trolley and go walkybouts around the grocery store with the trolley. And I started to look forward to a Friday. Friday was exercise day. It was good. Friday was the best day of the week, because Friday was the day I got to fill all my fridge up and fill all my cupboards up. And it was the day I got to get outside the flat. Yep, the one day a week that I would actually leave my apartment and actually go down to the grocery store and walk around the grocery store. I felt like I achieved something at the beginning of the year when I used to go shopping. I was like, yeah, what a great exercise session. Look, the supermarket was my gym. They were walking around the gym, walking around there, all those aisles for an hour. Damn, that was a workout. And I was knackered by the time I got back. I used to get in the car, the seatbelt only just about got clicked in, because it was, you know, that's how big I was. I could just barely get the seatbelt in. I used to get into a car and fight with the seatbelt for like 10 minutes trying to get the click in. I'd hit that click and I'd be like, oh, finally, I'm actually in. I can't move, but the seatbelt's on. You know, it was good. You know, it was good. And that was back in January. And that ain't even that long ago. It's like January, February. Something happened around about March, April time. Obviously by March, April time, I'd noticed I was losing weight. But something else happened around about March, April time. I noticed I was getting up to go to the toilet and walking around my apartment, and I was having less pain. Okay, I don't feel like I'm in as much daily pain as normally was. So I started doing things that I hadn't been doing before, because I just never done it, because I didn't have the energy, motivation, or in too much pain to do. I started tidying up. Yeah, because trust me, man, my apartment was a mess. It was an absolute mess. But I started tidying up. I started doing chores again. Things that I just found myself doing them without even thinking about it. I started doing stuff again. Okay, so now I'm just going to fast forward a little bit. I continued doing this. I continued losing weight. Weight was just falling off from January all the way through to September. The weight just fell off. I lost just over 100 pounds from January down to September. Yeah, it was 400. I got down to like 295 pounds from January just through to September. 9 months. Why did I leave myself suffering for years? Why do people in this world leave themselves suffering for years, being overweight, and then all the unhealthy stuff that comes with that, physically and mentally, when in just 9 months, just eating healthily, I was able to drastically change my life? Just in 9 months. It's crazy to think that we go years like this when we can just so easily change things. But anyway, I digress. I'm in September. I get to the 1st of September. I'm still going strong with the eating healthily. But then I hit a plateau. I hit a pretty big plateau in September. I went 4 weeks of September. I didn't lose anything. And I was moving around a lot more now. I'm walking around all over the place, doing all my chores and stuff. I was doing really well, but I just wasn't losing any weight. So I went looking for ways in which I could, like, now I'm lost a lot of weight. I wanted to kind of refine my diet even further and get myself down to my goal, more healthy weight, which for me, I think is around about 190, 195. That's kind of where I want to be. That's my goal. Not there yet. That's my goal. And so after a lot of looking around and stuff, and looking at a lot of different videos and stuff, and reading a few books and whatnot, I finally came across a man who, he hasn't fully changed my life yet because I'm only a month in, but from what I'm seeing so far, oh my goodness. And I just I ain't got words to describe how it feels to actually be where I'm at right now. But I found a content creator who's not just a content creator, but a doctor. I found Dr. Berry on YouTube. Probably the most important discovery I think I've ever made in my life. I found this guy, Dr. Berry. I'm going to put his channel in the description below for you to go check out yourself. I found his channel and I discovered the carnivore diet. Like, what? I saw it and I was like, what the hell is that? Like, I've heard of different diets. I've done loads of different diets over the years. But the carnivore diet? What the hell is that? So I started I fell into the rabbit hole of this carnivore diet on his channel, watching all these different videos. And from him, I then started finding lots of other content creators as well. Some were nutritionists, some were doctors, some were just people like me that had done something like this and just wanted to talk about it, you know. And I started watching a lot of other videos and stuff. And you know what? I think it was the 3rd or the 4th of October, I said, I'm going for it. I'm going to do it. Completely 100%, I'm going to do it. Now, before I tell you what happens next, what is the carnivore diet? I mean, I recommend you go and check out the videos from Dr. Berry, because he'll tell you all about everything associated with everything. But I mean, look, just so you guys know what I'm talking about, the simple way to describe what is the carnivore diet, it's basically a diet of eating just animal products. Okay, so we're talking beef, bacon, butter, eggs, seafood, some seafood like salmon, sardines, herring, salt as well, not too much, like not loads of salt to taste, eggs. I mean, oh my god, eggs, I love eggs. But that's basically it. And then as far as the liquids, it's like water. I mean, you can eat other meats as well, so any meat, if it's an animal, you can eat it. Lamb, chicken, although chicken's not the best one in the world. Maybe chicken thighs, they've got the extra skin on and stuff. But anyway, all these different types of meats and animal products coming from it. You can have dairy, like you can have things like cheese, but I mean, I tend generally try and get like unpasteurized raw cheese. Milk, again, if you're lactose intolerant, I mean, it's best that I personally haven't drank no milk. I don't really thirst for milk, so I don't really have milk. But again, milk you can have, but I mean, sometimes it's best not to have it because of the lactose, the sugars and stuff that's in milk. Anyway, I digress again. I started this eating plan of eating just meat. And I mean, I had no issues with it because I love meat. I love ribeye steaks. I literally live on ribeye steaks. Bacon and eggs in the morning. Like a typical day for me, wake up in the morning, have bacon and eggs with like 6 or 7 rashers of bacon with like 3 eggs. And then like in the afternoon, if I feel hungry, because most of the time I don't really feel that hungry by the time the afternoon comes, I might have a tin of sardines, or I might have a couple of burger patties, ground beef burger patties. And then the evening comes around about 5-6 o'clock PM. I'll normally have like a ribeye steak. That's my go-to. I'll have a ribeye steak. Maybe if I'm feeling really hungry, I might have a ribeye steak and a side of shrimp on the side, just cooked in butter in the skillet. You know, that to me is a normal day. I'll drink lots of water, lots of like sparkling water I drink. I don't really drink too much tap water. I like sparkling water, and that's what I drink all day. And that's generally speaking the diet. Then you might, it goes against everything I ever learned as a child and as an adult growing up. What is this man talking about? He's talking about eating red meat and eggs and all this butter and all this fat and all this protein. Like, where's the carbs? Where's the fiber? Where's the vegetables? Where's the pasta? Where's all the healthy stuff? What's going on? And I was a complete naysayer when I first watched his first video. I went, this guy's mad. Like, what? Like, there's no way this is actually healthy. There's no way you can be healthy on that. Like, you're going to get a heart attack. That's literally what I was in my mind when I first heard about this. And when I talk to people about this, it's the first thing a lot of people think as well. But based on everything he was saying, and not just everything he was saying, I went down into the comments on these videos, and there are hundreds and thousands of comments from people saying, you've changed my life, you've saved my life, you've got rid of my diabetes, you've got rid of my swelling, you've done this, you've done that. I'm like, geez, how many comments has this guy got? Like, wow, like, this is crazy. He wasn't selling me nothing. Wasn't giving me this long pitch and then saying, all you got to do is buy these supplements. You know, he wasn't links down below, everyone. You know, he wasn't selling like a meal plan. He wasn't selling anything, you know. He's got a private community, which you can join. It's optional. You don't have to. He's not selling anything. All he's giving is information. So I just thought, you know what? All right, then, Dr. Berry, I'll give it a week. I'll give it 7 days. I'm prepared to trust you. Yes. I'm prepared to give it a go for 7 days and see how I feel. So I did. So I went grocery shopping and I bought all this meat and butter and eggs and all this stuff. And like in the first couple of days, I had diarrhea. Guys, I had diarrhea like I have never had diarrhea before in my life. I had to run into McDonald's to go to the toilet, man. And I feel sorry for who went in there after me. Now, I'm sorry if you're eating. I'm sorry if that's TMI, but I mean, it is what it is, right? Oh my God. For 2 days, my bowels exploded. Like, and it was rough, but I was prepared for that because he'd said, you're gonna probably have diarrhea in the first week or two because it's your gut re-establishing itself to the change. You know, your body's now getting nutrients like, he's feeding me what I need. You know, it's like, boom, your whole body goes goes crazy. And like, that's one of the side effects. But it only lasted for about a week for me. Not as bad as that. First 2 days, oh my God, right? I was frightened to go out for 2 days. But no, after that, it calmed right down. And after the first week, no diarrhea at all. So, you know, after the first week, completely gone. There's a lot of problems because a lot of people try this, have the diarrhea, like, oh no, I can't do that diet. I got diarrhea on that diet. It's awful. It's just your gut re-establishing. After a while, it goes away. Anyway, I get to the end of the first week and oh my God, the changes after 3 or 4 days. I wasn't feeling hungry. I was feeling like satiety. I can't remember the name of the words, satiety or whatever you want to call it. I didn't feel hungry. Those snacking cravings had gone. I would have breakfast in the morning at like 8 a.m. I'd have some bacon and eggs. By 2-3 o'clock, I've missed lunch. Like, oh crap, lunch was 2 hours ago, ladies and gents. I've totally missed lunch because I weren't even thinking about food. I ain't even hungry. And some days I'd get to like 6 o'clock evening meal and I'd be like, I gotta have dinner. I don't feel hungry, but I guess I should have this steak because I mean, it is dinner time after all. Look at the clock. It's 6 o'clock. I should probably eat. But I didn't feel that hungry. It was kind of, do I want this or not? I don't know. All I'm saying is I didn't feel very hungry. It's like before I started carnivore, even during the first like 10 months of this journey I've talked to you about today, I still had those cravings. I was always looking at the cupboards, looking at the fridge, wondering what's in there. There's bread in the cupboard, there's butter, there's some mayonnaise, or maybe I can make myself a mayonnaise sandwich. Oh, there's tuna in the cupboard as well. I was always constantly thinking about food. Food was the highlight of the day. When the food turned up, well, hey, it's time to eat. You know, I was all about food. Focus on food, right? But going on carnivore, just 3-4 days in, it was like the voice had been silenced. Quiet. Peacefulness. Wasn't thinking about food at all. I feel hungry in the morning sometimes. My stomach goes, hey, we're ready for some food. I'm like, okay. And I go and eat. But it's very subtle. The feelings of hunger I get are very subtle now, you know? It's lovely. And as far as going to the toilet's concerned, once every maybe 2 or 3 days, I'll go and do a little bit. And it's just a very nice, relaxed kind of like moment. I have my relationship with my toilet has changed in the in the last month. It has. It's changed. I mean, I would spend ages in that place. I would wipe my butt so much when I was eating shit that I would get sores where it hurt to sit down. Now I go to the toilet once every 2-3 days and it's just in, out, and out. No problems at all. My stomach feels so much more relaxed. It's not working nowhere near as hard as it used to, pushing out all that crap, literally. Like now it's just relaxed. Everything just seems to be calm. That's the only way I can describe it. So anyway, got to the end of the first week and I felt amazing. Not just the fact I didn't feel hungry anymore, but I felt like I had so much more energy. Oh my God. It's like someone just plugged in Duracell Plus and just turned the power onto max. Like I was up and about, doing stuff. Wasn't sitting here vegging out on the internet all day long. I was up and about cleaning, wiping stuff down, moving the sofas around, cleaning the floors, wiping the walls, cleaning the bathroom, under the toilet, bleach, clean in the kitchen, doing stuff. I was all over the place. Like just going out for a walk, just for the sake of going out for a walk. Off I go. Let's go walk around the shops and do a bit of window shopping. I might pick up something if I see something I want. Other than that, I'm just here for the walking about and general exercise. It's just been, life has changed. And that was in the first week. That was by the end of the first week. The depression, the anxiety, it was almost like someone opened the curtains and let the light in. I don't feel any anxiety or depression now. I can walk out my front door and walk out into the street and I'm not worried about people looking at me. I don't hear a laughter and think it's directed at me. I'm not constantly looking over my shoulder. I walk down the road now, my shoulders back, my chest stuck out, my head up high, and I'm feeling good about being outside, walking around, doing things. I mean, that's insane. I didn't feel that good even after I lost 100 pounds. Going on to Carnivore for a week allowed me to feel that way. It was almost like, I don't know, I just saw some clarity. I can't explain it. I didn't believe any of this would happen. I thought this diet was a load of shite and I was going to feel ill at the end of it, because who the hell would feel healthy eating saturated fats, red meats and protein and no carbs? Not me. I thought there's no way I'm going to feel healthy eating this. I was a complete naysayer at the beginning, but by the end of the first week, it only took a week. It only took 4 days. I was sold. I was like, oh my God. I feel amazing. I literally feel amazing. And so week 1 turned into week 2, work turned into week 3, and here we are now at week 4. I've been on the carnivore diet for 4 weeks. I feel better than I have done in years, in decades. I feel as good as I did when I was back in my early 20s. I feel great. I've had my bloods checked as well. I had my bloods checked after about 3 weeks and everything is within levels where it needs to be. Everything's perfect on my bloods. Not that 3 weeks is enough time to really see that kind of stuff, but I was just worried. I was like, damn, I've been eating bacon and eggs and steaks for 3 weeks. I kind of want to get it checked out. I got myself checked out and there was nothing to worry about. I was absolutely perfectly healthy and fine, no issues at all. And I'll check it again maybe in 6 months and see where I'm at. But I mean, based on what I'm seeing so far, how I'm feeling, and everything I've seen online from people that have had bloods done after 6 months, a year, whatever, don't have any issues at all either. There's lots of scientific stuff and medical stuff about this diet. There's a lot of people that I think are brainwashed out there that have been on the same kind of food that I thought was healthy and having the same problems I had, who, I don't know, maybe there's people out there that don't believe this is the way. You know, maybe they don't feel like this is a proper way for a human to eat. There's people out there that will be against this. But I think, you know, and I'm not saying this is the only way to be healthy. Let me just make that clear. I may be right now a carnivore, but I'm not prejudiced towards other ways of eating. Just before any like people coming in to attack me on this thought process, you know, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that are like, who eat meat and vegetables are healthy. There's people out there that don't eat meat, who just eat vegetables, who are also healthy. They find their way, you know, and that's fine. You know, again, you have to listen to your own body and do what's right for you. But for me, I've tried a lot of that other stuff. For me, like, again, N=1. For me, I've tried the vegetarian approach. I've tried doing a bit of carb and a bit of protein and a bit of veg. It didn't work for me. What worked for me was just going carnivore. And it's basically like I guess they call it an elimination diet. You get to remove all the toxins, all of the processed foods, everything out of your diet and go back to basics, you know, like our ancestors used to eat. And then after a while, I guess if you want to, you could try and bring other things back in, but your body's going to tell you straight away if those things are not good, and then you can get rid of them. Now, I never had really no major conditions when I started this journey of carnivore. The only real condition I had was some edema in my lower legs, which, by the way, is pretty much gone now. I literally, my legs are absolutely perfectly fine. I have no edema now, which is basically like a swelling of the legs, completely gone. So that's good. But based on what I've seen and heard about this diet, there's people out there that have had loads of different kinds of medical conditions like reversed by going on this food plan. Again, I'm not really the one to quote that or talk about that, but like I said, the link is in the description. Go and check out Dr. Berry's YouTube channel if you're interested in learning more about this and the medical benefits it can have as well if you've got inflammatory conditions. All I can really tell you guys is I'm at the end of 30 days. I'm now getting ready for my next 30 days for November. And I have been putting updates on little updates here and there on my community page, showing some of the things I've been cooking and stuff. So you can see some of that stuff on my community page. But going into November, I'm really excited for the month 2 on the carnivore. And yeah, all I can say is I feel amazing. Oh, and I've lost more weight. Did I mention that? I told you I hit a plateau in September. I've lost more weight since I've gone on to carnivore. So I was around about the 295 mark, around 295, 296 in September. And then October, I done carnivore. And as far as weight loss, I dropped probably another, I want to say around about 5 kilos, about 5 kg, which is like another like 13 pound or so, something like that, another stone. Yeah, I lost like 5 kilograms in October, just going on to carnivore. So I'm getting closer and closer towards my goal of getting down to like 190, 195. That's where I want to get to. So I feel amazing. That's all I can tell you guys. I was a non-believer. I went onto this and now I have a new lease of life, it feels like. And it's only going to get better and better and better as I continue and stay on it. Anyway, this video turned out to be way longer than I expected it to be. I just wanted to give you guys an update on how I'm doing, how I'm feeling. Again, feeling great, doing fantastic. I would definitely recommend, people, if you're having problems with weight loss and stuff, maybe look at giving this a go. Like I said, check out Dr. Berry's YouTube channel. Link is down in the description below. And yeah, guys, have a great rest of your day. And I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, stay safe, everyone. And of course, peace out.